What's up, team? Welcome to the video. Today we're talking about mobility. This is a vlog. If you want to go to the mobility section, go to the time on the screen. Otherwise, we're about to go work out. Let's get it. I just wander into this random New York sports club and look who I found. Oh, hey guys. Looking all jacked.
We interrupt this record to bring you a special bulletin. Oh!
Alright guys, mobility vlog is here. So let's start with this. Flexibility is a term most of you are probably understand, which is lengthening a muscle, stretching leading to additional flexibility. Mobility is the ability to move around a joint. Okay, so if you think of like your ankle, your hip, your shoulder, how effectively you can move through those ranges of motion. Getting your arm overhead, performing a squat. That's what mobility is. And there are a variety of mobility exercises that I do. Some days it's just a couple minutes in the morning, and some days it's 20 to 25 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. But I have 15 to 20 moves, and I'll probably do somewhere between 6 to 10 of them per day. And I'm gonna run you through a bunch of them. But first, let's talk about this thing. I know we've discussed it before, but if you're new to the channel, new to the video, a lacrosse ball and a foam roller are tools that are used for myofascial release. So we have fascia that sits atop our muscle tissue, and if you like I'm feeling one right now, if you feel a knot back there, it's like a knot of fascia, which you can break up with what is called trigger point therapy. Physical therapists use the technique, massage therapists use the technique. You can self-massage, or you can use a tool like a lacrosse ball or a foam roller. So in those moves, these moves that I'm gonna run you through, some of them use these tools. Third thing that I actually forgot about that I also use, which is diaphragmatic breathing. I'm not gonna get super into this, partly because I'm just not that smart at this. Dean Somerset is someone I would check out if you want to learn more about how breathing impacts the central nervous system and how that can lead to increased or decreased ranges of motion in certain parts of the body. But I know from testing shoulder mobility that my parasympathetic nervous system, which is what is more active when you're in a relaxed, like after you've taken 20 deep breaths, that's off for me. I'm just like, I'm up here, I'm breathing super shallow, which limits my ranges of motion around various joints. And I know by testing it, by taking 20 deep breaths, by testing shoulder range of motion, taking 20 deep breaths and testing it again, that is something that benefits me. So every morning or whenever I do this, I will take 15 to 20 diaphragmatic breaths. I'll show you that right now. Laying flat on my back, I put a hand on my stomach, I put a hand on my chest because I want to feel my stomach rising. I don't want to feel my chest rising. I'm trying to take deep breaths through my nose, straight into my belly. So I'm just chilled. And as I go on, I really try to push, inhale as much as possible into my belly. And I start to feel tension in my upper traps and in various spots. Next thing I want to talk about is, I talked before about ankle mobility, hip mobility, shoulder mobility, upper back or thoracic spine mobility, wrist mobility. These are a lot of joints that we want to be able to move around. how do you know what to do? Like which exercises, which mobility drills should you be doing? And I don't have a great answer. Like a full body mobility, like slate of mobility drills every single day probably doesn't make sense from a time and an efficiency point of view. The best advice I have to offer is if you know you're limited, if you know you're tight in an area, if you know you're sore in an area, that is where I would focus my attention. And historically for me, that has been like upper traps, mid traps, lower traps, rhomboids, pec minor, kind of everything around my shoulders and upper back. So with that, let's actually just get into one of the moves I like. Upper back extensions over a foam roller. So grabbing the back of my head, keeping my rib cage down, keeping my core braced, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to extend or like arch the upper part of my back. The lower part of my back I want stable, that lumbar spine, so by keeping my abs lightly braced, that stays stable. I didn't sleep much last night, just FYI. So the foam roller is like sitting just under my shoulder blades. I'm getting a nice stretch through the lats when I come back. If I had a partner to kind of press on the backs of my elbows, that would be nice. Since I have the foam roller here, common places that most people would benefit from foam rolling, the upper back. So from kind of the middle of your back up to your upper traps, and kind of going left to right and hanging out in places that feel good to hang out. That's a good one. Quads are something that most people benefit from, and like there are certain muscles that could use myofascial release that the foam rollers isn't very effective at hitting, like your forearm, for example. But rolling your quads is pretty straightforward here. Rolling the adductors, so the inner thigh from your knee up into your groin, I guess is the not so technical term for the top of the adductor complex, if you want to nerd out. So coming in here, finding any spots that feel a little like, ow, that hurts, and hanging out there and sinking in and spending 20 or 30 seconds and then moving at 1 inch and hanging out 20 or 30 seconds and moving at 1 inch. I'll do that on both sides. I'll hit my shins. That's about it with the foam roller usually. Glutes a little bit. But then with the lacrosse ball, which you can purchase if you like, the OTR lacrosse ball, upper traps, pec minor, either on the floor or against the wall. Against the wall is going to be less pressure than laying on the ground and doing it. Yeah, I mean, I can show you that, but I'll just hang out here. You've seen me do it in vlogs against the wall or on the ground, and just kind of move until I find a knot, find a place where it feels like painful, and then just like let it sink into that knot. As an aside, the fitness in, I don't want to say medical community because then it sounds like I'm trying to be a doctor and I'm not, but as a whole, really does not know that much about soft tissue. We just don't, compared to other parts of the body, compared to how our organs function. Like, we just don't know that much about soft tissue damage and like what exactly the causes are. There's a lot of mysterious low back pain that exists out there that can't be drawn to any specific cause. Okay, I got a little wrapped up in that lacrosse ball work. I'm gonna take you through a few moves now that are common that I like. So a rear foot elevated hip flexor stretch or a rocking hip flexor stretch. My hip flexors are super tight. So I can get plenty out of this, especially when I first wake up, simply by being right here, keeping my core engaged, not extending my back and like, right, I want the stretch to be coming through my hip, and just kind of gently leaning into it, rolling over onto the top of my knee that's down for like 10 rocks per side. There are a lot of good ankle mobility drills. My ankles are super mobile, I'm lucky. I'll do like a calf raise, just take it through the range of motion from a push-up position, single leg for 6 to 10 reps just to start, but really, I'm in good shape there. what else do I do? The hamstring stretch. We're here, down toe is pointed towards my foot, front toe is pointing towards my face. I'm trying to pull my like tailbone and left glute back, arms forward, and then it's a lean forward, lean back. And then the other move here. So I'll do like 10 of those, and then I'll be here and do 10 twists. And on the twist, you don't want to just be like chilling back here. You want to lean forward so you get a little like a 5 out of 10 hamstring stretch, and from this tilted forward position, twist. We got the hip flexor rock. What else do I do? Wall slides are a great one for chest and front delt stretch, deactivating the upper traps and activating your mid traps, lower traps, rhomboids. So what that looks like: feet off the wall, knees bent, lower back on the wall, entire back on the wall. And what you want to try to do is keep your hands, forearms, and elbows all on the wall. You probably won't be able to. I probably won't be able to right now. But the goal is to go up and down with your arms with everything on the wall. So we're here, we're here, we're here. That's an awesome, awesome move, especially for leaning over the computer, leaning over your desk job, leaning over your online poker grinding, like whatever you're doing. If you're like this, open all that up. The body weight no money is another good one. You can do banded no monies too if you want. I get plenty from the body weight, just right here, using the backs of my shoulders, my rear delts, to crank my hands out to the side. Feel so much back here. I'll hit my lats with the lacrosse ball or with the foam roller actually. There's another hamstring stretch I like. Right here, laying flat, hold the back of your hamstring, point toe towards you, relax head, neck, shoulders, and we're literally just trying to straighten that leg and back down. And I want to be relaxed here, I don't want to be looking up at you. I'll do usually 10 reps of all of these and no rest in between. I'll just fly through them. Like I said before though, some days I'm in a hurry, it's 4 total minutes, just a little rolling, like a few wall slides and on with it. Some days I won't do any mobility work. I'll wake up, I'll be working, and 3 hours in I'll be like, feel super tight, and I'll do 20 minutes and that'll kind of center me mentally, and I get the benefit of like all of this work. That pretty much covers it. If you have any questions, drop them down below. But if you have specific areas that hurts when I do this, that's where I would focus my attention first, especially if your time is limited. Dean Somerset, Eric Cressy are good guys to check out on the subject. And Mobility WOD, Kelly Starrett obviously is solid, even though the other two are where I've derived most of this. Yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed, more high quality content, daily vlogs. Now it's time to go to Chipotle for a little meeting. So Kevin is the owner of the first gym I worked at in New York City. We're just catching up. What if you always did what you knew you were supposed to do? We don't know what that looks like. My love for ice cream preceded my love for fitness. I started weightlifting and like caring about fitness for sports when I was 13, 14, 15 years old. Just got back from first Chipotle probably 2 hours ago. Talked to a friend on the phone, I got interviewed about ice cream and fitness, and then just replying to some YouTube comments, some Instagram DMs, about to go to Chipotle again, and then I'm going to bed early tonight. That's the game plan.
Just working, getting shit done.
I love it. I am so tired, vlog. I don't know if you can see it, my face, but I am a tired man. I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna wrap the vlog here. Thank you very much for watching. Please like the button. See you tomorrow.